to Knights of Chiefs Kingdom. I'm your host, Caleb Worsham. And today we have again Emily Broadway.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Welcome back to the show. So today's topic, or for this week, we're going to be talking about the recent trade. I forgot what his name from the Giants. Do you remember? Here, I can find him. But I know one of our own Chiefs players who's been on the Chiefs team since Super Bowl 54 was traded to the Atlanta Falcons, and that did relieve...
and that was Rashad Fenton.
Fenton, yes. And he did relieve us in the cap space for next... Well, possibly for OBJ, but I don't think if that's going to be possible. I mean...
It could be for future. I don't necessarily see OBJ just because we got a new wide receiver. But, like, who knows what Brett Veach has in his mind.
Yeah, anything can happen. I mean, yesterday was crazy with all the teams trading because yesterday was the last day for the... Yeah, it was the deadline.
It was an NFL history of 12 total trades yesterday.
I know.
Yesterday only.
And I was shocked to see the Packers. They didn't even do anything.
They tried getting some people, but other teams had better deals or just that the team wanted to keep them. And the Chiefs were looking at getting Josh Allen, not the Buffalo's quarterback, but the Jags pass rusher. That's what we were looking at. But unfortunately, Jacksonville decided not to trade him. So,
yeah.
Boo.
I just think it's really interesting how, especially from the Broncos too, they traded someone to the Dolphins and then the Jets, and then they traded for someone from the Jets to the Broncos. It's like everyone just swapped teams yesterday. And then the most shocking was probably seeing Chicago. His last name's Chubb, I think.
Yeah. He's
a defensive tackle, if I remember, but he was traded to the Minnesota Vikings, and they're actually getting they're pretty good in their division.
The biggest shocker for me personally was Detroit Lions giving up their good tight end to the Vikings.
I saw that. I was like,
what were you thinking? I'm sorry. I know he's no Travis Kelce, but like, what?
Okay, so I think really what's going on in the NFL with these trades, I think the Lions, even the Texans, they're like, they don't want to, I mean, they probably do want to win games, but I feel like they would rather make a deal and make more money off of these trades.
They'd rather get the draft picks and stuff.
Yeah, that too.
Fair.
I'm like,
but
it's a
that's in your division.
I know, and that's a gamble. That's literally a gamble.
No, I literally saw a draft, trade, grades, you know? Mm-hmm. They gave the Vikings an A for that one, and, the Lions a D- for that one.
Yeah, because they were stupid at doing that. I'm sorry, but the Lions, they need to, figure out. They're 1-6 for crying out loud. But you know what? As a Chiefs fan, at least we're 5-2.
Yeah.
And what's crazy how we're about to come out of bye week, I feel like we're still pretty good shape. McDuffie is out of injury reserves, and that's going to help our defense.
That's the one person I've been absolutely looking for to come back.
But here's the downside. Frank Clark.
Oh.
So,
yeah, I forgot about that.
An incident 2 years ago happened in California. He had a gun in his vehicle. I think it was like an Uzi submachine gun. But
didn't we talk about this last week?
I think we did, but I feel like for the Titans game, at least we have McDuffie and we have Chris Jones. We have forgot his nickname is like the Big Geek.
George Kalafis.
Yeah, George.
I don't think I'm saying that last name right. Sorry, George.
Yeah, it's Greek though.
The biggest key for our defense. I'm not necessarily worried about anything else from the Titans, except for Derrick Henry.
They don't have wide receivers anymore.
They traded theirs during the offseason to the Eagles.
That was a shock.
Good job for him.
That's why the Eagles are stacked because
that's part of the reason, because
Well,
Yeah.
one of the reasons why they have an easy schedule, in my opinion.
I don't necessarily think.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't
That's
exactly
debatable.
agree with that. Because they also have, like, they actually are considered one of the hardest schedules as far as, like, when they come, not necessarily in terms of opponents, but, like, when home games, away games, Thursday night games, Sunday night, like, when stuff is scheduled, they are considered
structure.
the hardest.
Because they have to keep going at it and at it, so they don't really have, like, a full week's worth of practice or even
Well,
a
it's
break.
not even just this week. Like, there's other weeks where it's actually a little bit more crazier than other teams. So, like, yeah.
Interesting. But so far, as in injuries going to the Titans game, so far we have no one, as I'm checking.
Everyone's. I know
Well-
Lucas Nyang just came back to practice today.
He's questionable to go in, but pretty much I'm pretty confident that we should be all good. Besides the whole Frank Clark deal, we should have. Yeah. There's always something. At least it's 2 weeks before the Chargers game, because that Chargers offense, we're going to need every defense.
Yeah, but I
person.
really wish we had him for the Titans because
Derrick Henry.
our defensive line will be our biggest key for that.
Yeah.
Shut him down quick, shut him down hard.
And I
Do
think.
not allow him to Derrick Henry you.
But I think having George Kalafris will also help. Plus having Chris Jones as defense tackle, and I could see him getting sacks.
I also could see Carlos Dunlap and Snead getting some action too.
At least we have Snead, because he was out for 4 weeks.
Well, and the reason why we gave out Fenton was because we have 3 rookie cornerbacks, with Trent being back now, and then there's Snead. We're happy with that rotation. That's why we got rid of Fenton. So.
And I don't think this next game our safeties should be worried, but at the same time they should kind of scramble just in case.
Justin Reed will probably do something.
Yeah, he will. He can kick the ball. He can do whatever he wants. But yeah, I feel like it's mainly going to be a running game for the Titans game. Sorry. No, I was just about to say, for the Chiefs, I think we can do it in both ways. We just got to, like, rotate. The way that Mahomes works with the Chiefs, we're kind of rotating things instead of, like, making it into a throwing game constantly or a running game. I think Mahomes likes to just rotate and just keep it out of balance. And that's what Andy Reid likes too. But what were you about to say, Emily?
Well, I was going to say our defense, though, is actually number 3 in the NFL for against the run. So this is really going to be a run offense versus a run defense.
Yeah.
That's going to be the most interesting matchup. And, like, the interesting thing is, though, like, I saw a little graphic of there's only, like, 4 teams that have allowed 20 points in each of their games. Chiefs are one of them. The Saints used to be on there, but because of their 24-0 shutout over the Raiders,
oh my gosh, that was.
you can take that off the list. But the Raiders are also on it, and I forgot who the 4th team was.
I'm not sure
But
about
I don't.
that.
But yeah, I find that interesting. But at the same time, it's also like, defense does help, absolutely. But we have Patrick Mahomes, versus the other teams that don't have as good quarterbacks.
Right.
So our defense, especially in this game, we gotta make sure King Henry is not running out of the place, because that's what happened last year, and that's why we got our butts kicked.
And we played at Tennessee. I feel like playing in Kansas City with the atmosphere filled with the Chiefs.
Throw back to the AFC Championship.
Oh yeah, that was one of the greatest games. That was when Mahomes did that.
The run.
He spun.
Pushed.
6 guys were on him, and my dad, I won't forget, we were in my basement at my house, and my dad was there, and he was like, Kip, I don't think we're going to win this game. I was like, Dad, you have to freaking believe. We made a comeback in the Houston Texans game.
The divisional,
and then this is the AFC Championship. We've made it this far. I'm not going to watch the Super Bowl if the Titans are playing. And, and then I just started praying, like, please God, just let Mahomes do his thing.
Imagine a Super Bowl of Ryan Tannehill and Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh my gosh. You know what? Might as well put that on Amazon Thursday Night Football.
I'm just curious I think, so Ryan is Tennessee's main quarterback as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's either injured or something because they had their rookie starting last week.
Against Houston. I did hear about that.
I forgot what his name was. I remember. I think he was from Liberty University, if I remember right. He had very much pros and cons in the NFL draft, but I think that one's gonna be an interesting matchup to see whether it is Ryan or the rookie.
Right. I'm looking up real quick on ESPN. That's the source I'm using. So I'm looking at the matchup predictor from ESPN. The Titans have an 11.7% of winning versus 88.2% for the Chiefs. And I just think, playing in Kansas City and then also losing a wide receiver on the Titans team and they can run the ball. A lot of people are thinking that the Titans may get us just because, they played against the Houston Texans. And, they're the worst offense and the worst defense in the NFL.
Just remember, we also lost to the Colts from the exact same division.
That's true.
So, yeah.
And we're both 5-2.
And the Titans have been, their beginning was not great at all. But then they actually, I think Derrick Henry mainly found their rhythm, and that's what's gotten win their games. So
he's basically carrying their team.
That's what he basically does.
That's why he's King Henry.
But he is very good to do that. Not that many players can carry their team by one individual people.
And I respect him. He's one of the best running backs in the NFL.
Yeah.
And he is.
Huge respect.
He's known as a train.
Choo-choo.
But I just hope the Chiefs can pull it off because Mahomes against the Titans, he's 1-2. So hopefully we'll be 2-2 against the Titans. So. Yep.
What's your score prediction?
My prediction, from 2 weeks ago, and we also had a bye week, and then for Tennessee just playing the Houston Texans, they were okay. I predict at least 31 to about 20, I think 31 to 20 Chiefs because we have many options for our wide receivers and their quarterback, they don't really have any wide receivers he can throw to. They can mainly run the ball. But you also got Derrick Henry as a runner back. And the Kansas City defense isn't always good, but at the same time, I feel like our defense has improved from last year. So I think it could be a close game at first, but we also got Harrison Bucker as our special teams kicker too.
As long as he doesn't miss right after making history.
Good Lord. But
I'm going to have to agree with you on the score. Also, another factor into going into this game is Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid off of bye weeks. Probably one of the best combinations you could ever have. Them in September and them after a bye week. It's all you need.
Yeah. And then Mahomes, instead of taking a break, when that one wide receiver coming from the Giants came in, Mahomes chose to meet him on that day off.
Oh, yeah.
And, I respect Mahomes for doing that and just welcome him into the Chiefs
There
kingdom.
also has to be a good connection between those two, you
right.
know.
Like Aaron Rodgers and his wide receivers. That game against the Bills and the Packers first half was terrible. Second half, Packers were actually doing okay.
How did the Bills about blow the second half?
Okay. I was yelling at the TV when Josh Allen threw an interception.
I saw that!
And I was like, I know, even though they're the number one seed in the AFC, I'm like, you know, they can.
How did we lose
They
two
can choke.
people? No offense.
They can always choke. Any team, any good team can choke.
I'm still waiting for the Eagles. No offense.
I want that Cowboy and Eagles rematch, and I think that does happen.
I want to see how the Giants do against the Eagles. The fact that the Giants just got squashed by the Seahawks.
I know.
Although, can we give it a big round of applause to the Seahawks and the Falcons for being on top of their division when I don't think anyone was expecting them to be.
Yeah, and also I give credit to Russell Wilson to getting his crap together.
I was wanting the Jags to win that game. I'm not going to lie.
Okay, I like the Broncos. They're my second favorite team in the AFC West division. I just hated watching them lose and lose all the time. I'd rather see the Raiders or the Chargers lose. But seeing them barely winning this game, I was like, okay, you tried at least. And he finally said, Broncos country, let's ride. I was like, no, you're going to jinx so many times.
He's already jinxed himself too many times.
Yes.
The damage is already done.
But
I hope he did not do high knees again on the flight back.
Oh my gosh. He's becoming more like a meme NFL god because
he really is.
Even other teams have intimidated him, and I feel like, yeah, you better just stop doing that.
No, the interesting thing is though that on that subject, the Seahawks, one of their wide receivers, literally was like, "Well, it's so nice for when nobody cares about who gets the credit." I love it.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this. They actually play on NBC.
It's the Sunday Night Football.
Yep.
Woohoo!
I'm excited for that because those are always good games. That was
sometimes. Well,
okay.
Actually no. Sunday Night Football. No, those are good games.
Because
Monday night and Thursday night. Monday night's been half and half, if I remember correctly. And then Thursday night, it's WTF.
Yep. Yeah, thank God we're done with Amazon. We still have the most ratings in the
Well,
Amazon.
I mean, look who's played on Thursday nights. Broncos, Washington, Bears.
Yeah, some of the low-grade
Who
teams.
selected this television schedule, and how is the Bills and Chiefs game not on primetime?
I guess Jeff Bezos just wants to, kind of go off strong and then just kind of let it go down dead hill. And then he will be like, okay, so we're not going to do this again. So I'm looking forward to this Sunday against the Tennessee Titans versus Chiefs. And I think it's going to be a good one. But thank you for all tuning in today. And thank you, Emily, for being here. And how about those Chiefs?